This is ASPure Maths Notes. We are in Unit 9, Logarithms, and we're just looking at some examples involving kind of log solving index equations. So this one is going to be a bit like the previous one. We need to try and manipulate this very slightly. It's just slightly awkward. So let's take a look then at what we're going to do. So this 2 to the power of 2x plus 1, I'm going to rearrange some way. So 2 to the power of 2x plus 1, that's the same as 2 to the power of 2x multiplied by 2 to the power of 1. Hope we're okay with that. We learned that in year 9, as in we add the two powers, so I've effectively just done that backwards. So that means my question then becomes 2 times, and this is the bit we've changed, 2 to the power of 2x times by 2 minus 9 times 2 to the power of x plus 2 equals 0. And we have then pretty nearly the same thing as the last example. So that's going to be 4 upon 2 to the x squared minus 9 upon 2 to the x plus 2 equals 0. Again, I'm going to let y equal 2 to the power of x, and that then gives me a nice straightforward quadratic again, 4y squared minus 9y plus 2 equals 0. This is not a video about how you solve quadratic equations. You should be familiar with that. If you're not, you need to go back and look at it. But this gives us then 4y minus 1 and y minus 2 equals 0. So I get 4y is equal to 1, and y then is a quarter, or I get y equals 2. So if I go on to the next page, then we're going to change. So we're going to change our y back then for our 2 to the power of x. So changing that back, then I get 2 to the power of x is a quarter, or 2 to the power of x equals 2. Now, if you're fairly au fait and good with your indices, you may be able to work out the solution straight away, but let's pretend you can't work out what's going on, and we're trying to work out what x is. It's just then an index equation. So log 2 to the x is log to the quarter, x log 2 log a quarter, and then that means x log of a quarter divided by log of 2, and that gives me x is minus 2. So people will maybe spotted that. If it was 2 to the power of x equals 4, that's easy. That's just a 2, because 2 squared gives me 4. And of course the 1 over then would be the minus. That's why that one works out. Again, we can work our way through. Do you know what? I'm not going to do it. I'm hoping this one's as straightforward as they come. And our answer to that one then is obviously going to be x equals 1. Example 4 then. So this is kind of a simultaneous equations one that involves some bits and pieces. So log the base 2 of x plus log the base 2 of y equals 4. So I'm going to call this, I guess, equation 1, and call this equation 2. And so what do we have here? So taking equation 1, we have log the base 2 of x plus log the base 2 of y equals 4. Using our laws of logs, that means it gives me log to the base 2 of x, y equals 4. This means 2 to what power gives me x, y? So 2 to the power of 4 gives me x, y. That means x, y to the power of 4 is of course 16. And if you want, then you can go, let's go for, sorry, I'll write that the other way around, apologies. We have an x plus 12y was 52, so we're going to substitute this in. So I'm going to write an x is 16 over y. If I then sub that into 2, I get x plus 12y is 52, and I exchange my x in for a 16 over y. Again, I'm not sure if people know how to solve equations like this, but we need to multiply through by y. Multiply this by y, I get 16. Multiply this by y, I get 12. Y squared is 52y. Rearranging 12y squared minus 52y plus 16 equals 0. In this particular scenario, we can divide by 4. 3y squared minus 13y plus 4 equals 0. As I said in the previous video, this is not a video about solving quadratic equations. You should be able to do that. So we get 3y minus 1, y minus 4. Some people use about 3 or 4 lines in between here and here. That's totally fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That gives us 3y is 1 and y then is a third. Or we get then y equals 4. So we're nearly there. Remember, it's simultaneous equations, so we've got to work out what x is as well. So substituting it back in then, x equals 16 over y. So if y is a third, then x is 16 over a third, and that gives us 48. If y is 4, y equals 4, then x is 16 over 4, and that gives us x is 4. So those are my solutions there, 48 and a third, and 4 and 4.